Sometimes I'm like so lazy that I don't even want to turn on the air conditioner because like I don't want to go through the hassle of like fixing everything up and like, making sure I don't catch cold. So I just decide to boil myself during the night. And then I wake up and I just take a shower. Wake up in this like giant puddle, of like you just like basically sweat out all your nightmares and anxiety throughout the night and you didn't even wake up.
Well, let's hope that today's show doesn't give you more nightmares and traumata to sweat out. And hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast. Wayne, Keyframe, wonder about random drivel. Hey, and today
we have an excited guest.
We have a very excited guest indeed, and it's not her first time. But welcome back to the show, Dragonfoxgirl, aka Talia. How are you doing?
Happy to be here. I am doing okay, ending the 4th week of self-quarantine.
Oh boy, and you're completely alone with the dog, I take it?
I live in an apartment complex right now. I have neighbors surrounding me all around. I can hear them even when they have to go to the bathroom. It's quite interesting, sometimes. But yeah, I live alone.
But
I hope, I don't know if I should say hopefully it's all good noises, but what good noises come from that? I feel like the lack of noises would be the good noises.
Well, one time, I was starting to take a shower and I'm in the shower and I'm like washing my hair and suddenly I hear that my neighbor is also taking a shower. There's a wall in between us and their shower is also there. So she starts singing a very popular song here, and I join in. And we start singing together.
Oh, and she
awesome.
So she continued. It was not like she got creeped out and like, oh shit, I'm hurt.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Okay. I could see this go two directions, and apparently Odie enjoys very much that somebody else on this show might be able to understand Spanish, I assume. Is this even Spanish?
They're both Latin American, so...
Orinoco 35. Mira, habla español. He wants to know what song. Acereje ketchup. Acereje.
Oh, las ketchup.
Yes.
Yeah. But so Talia, for people who don't know who you are you? What do you do? And why should people care?
You got it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm an internet artist. I'm a freelancer. I make animations and illustrations and I post them online and I have been doing that for 10 years and I have been living off of that for like 5-6 years, I think, give or take 5 or 6, maybe 7. I don't really know the exact number. It doesn't matter really.
10 years you say. Do I have permission to go to the very beginning of your library on DeviantArt?
Oh yeah, sure, of
okay,
course.
This is an answer you don't get from any artist. Try the same trick with Key and she murders you.
No.
No, it's a part of me, and also I edited it very heavily a couple of years back. So.
Exactly. See, that's the better way to go about it. It's like, sure, you could see the redacted, you can see history. It's kind of like the JFK papers where there's huge blocks of black redacted out, but, it's still history.
It's just that, when I first started DeviantArt, I didn't have a tablet or anything. As you can see, most of the drawings that are left behind are traditional drawings that I scanned.
Oh yeah, it looks more traditional.
I was still trying to find my footing, I didn't like Facebook because my thing is that when everybody uses something or is, into something, I immediately just, try and stay away from it. I don't know why. It's like a habit, I guess. So I didn't want to have Facebook, so I posted a lot of pictures like it was a Facebook. And then, when I started growing up, I started, understanding, oh, wait, no, DeviantArt is not exactly a place where you should post pictures of yourself. Like, that's not what it's for. So I just took out all the pictures.
Ah, okay. But, yeah, so...
Oh, somebody's a shipper.
I mean, who doesn't?
It's true.
But, yeah, so So, Talia, what has been going on in your life? You've been in self-isolation. You've had that, but you said you had a story for the ages for us that you've been just waiting until you got back on the show to tell.
Oh, okay. So what's going on right now is that we are in like quarantine. Like the entire country is in quarantine. There is no school until June. There is like all the public places are completely closed. Everything has been moved to delivery, and we have a curfew like back in the dictatorship days. So that's also fun, you know.
I mean, if
you ever so much step, sorry, you were speaking.
If it makes you feel better, we officially also have a curfew in Germany at the moment. But
we've had a curfew in LA County for like a month now. Like it started right after Max left. So
okay, let's see who has the worst curfew. I'm afraid I will lose. We are still allowed. We are allowed to leave the house for grocery shopping, obviously, visits to the doctor and similar essential stuff. Walking the dog, so also good. Exercising, as long as it's not going to the gym or something, but taking a jog and something is still allowed. And probably, I believe the rest is still stuff like going to the doctor, going to...
essential business.
Exactly.
We have essential business, doctor, and dogs. Exercises. Actually, we got an alert on the phone, which we only get for Amber Alerts.
Normally, yeah.
And national disasters. Like, you know, hurricane warning and stuff. And also, I'm sorry, people. I am in my house. I have washed my hands. I will touch my face. But we got an alert that they have closed off all we have closed off all parks, trails, beaches, and basically places where you would go exercise completely. By the orders of the medical general or something like that here down in LA County, because people were still congregating at the beach, and now we're hearing talks that they're going to start doing what the UK did and dispersing police officers to disperse crowds.
And fines, collecting fines for gathering after all. Ah, nice. Okay, Talia, your chance. Take it home. The worst curfew. Can you beat Key?
Well, in Paraguay, we have street police officers that belong to a special unit, and the English translation would be they're called the Bobcats. They hide their identity and they dress in complete black. We call them linces, and their job is to patrol the city during day and at night to try and disperse any criminal activity.
Okay.
They have been put to work now to monitor the citizens, you know, who break curfew. And their job is to basically catch them, apprehend them, and use force if necessary and take them to jail. There's no fight. You go to jail. She wins. So the reason why, you know, like they deployed them and they're allowed to use force is because, sadly, a lot of people here remain ignorant to the severity of the situation. And they think that this is one giant vacation. You know, like people are gathering together, playing volleyball in their block, drinking, having like a big old time. And they just don't understand. So they have to go there and disperse the situation. There's so many videos right now of linces going around, you know, like apprehending people, arresting people because they don't respect the curfew. So hostility towards police, it's pretty high right now, and vice versa as well. So yeah, I mean, like it's been very scary to like having to even like be in front of my like apartment door right now. You cannot go outside. There's no, you know, like, oh, you can also go outside if you need to exercise or walk your dog or whatever. It's like, go outside if you have to go grocery shopping, or if you have to go to the hospital or the pharmacy. Don't go outside for anything else. That's why most of the businesses have established a delivery system. You know, you just call and they will deliver anything that you need to your door free of charge. So yeah, I mean, like I think what makes it worse is the police force. But in my opinion, it's necessary at the moment because
it's necessary.
Too
We're
many
basically
idiots.
saying who has the best or the most intense necessary evil, but it's also the thing of like who's the most stupid is also the competition that is being had. And thing is, I think we all win and lose in that scenario.
It's very
Many
true.
people are stupid.
But yeah, besides curfew, anything else going on in your life?
Well, I've been saving this story.
Yes.
I haven't really like told it on the internet because I wanted to wait.
Oh my.
Okay, so here's what happened. This happened last year. I was still living with my parents in my big house. We had a big backyard. And we live right at the end of a closed off street. So we're the house that, cuts off the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's mid-morning and my dad calls me on my cell phone, which I immediately find weird because he is in the house. Well, not exactly in the house. He's like in the backyard fixing his car. And I answer and I go, Dad, what's going on? And he says, Talia, don't tell your mom. Just come to the backyard. Just don't tell anybody. Just put on your shoes and come to the backyard. And I'm like, okay. Usually when my dad's like that, it's because there's a wild animal somewhere and, I need to remove it or to take care of it because my dad's scared of, like sometimes we get, wild animal situations here. Nothing too big, like owls or the occasional possum, maybe. One time a monkey. But it's South America. What can you do? So I go to the backyard and my dad, is standing right next to a car that's stuck in a ditch in front of our gate. And the wheel is like still running in reverse. And the car is smoking up and there is a person inside in the driving seat. And I go, what the hell is going on? And he's like, do you know that girl? And I look through the window, and it's a girl with short blue hair. And I'm like, oh, my father, because he saw a girl with blue hair, and he immediately thinks that I know every girl with blue hair, in the country.
But yeah, Keyframe, what have you been doing in South America?
I mean, I travel so much. Would it be a surprise if I'm just like, hey guys, I was in South America?
She's like this.
Oh.
And going like this. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I tell my dad, I don't know who that person is because like I didn't, like none of my female friends had blue hair at the time. So I said, I don't know who that person is, and my dad is like, okay, I'm calling police. And I immediately starts like, I start to yell at the girl to see if she wakes up or something. And my dad is like, no, don't do that. You don't know if she's like drugged. You don't know if there's a gun in the car or something. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do. So I just like stand there with my dad. My mom catches onto the situation and she comes. The police finally come and they get through the beauty parlor parking lot that is next to our house. So I go and I wave them down and I run through the parking lot so they can follow me and they get there. When they finally open the door, I decide it's safe enough to get closer. So I get closer and that's when I finally see the girl lifting up her head. And I knew who she was.
Oh.
You do know everyone with blue hair.
Oh no, it's true.
And here's the kicker. She was one of my best friends from when I used to go to Catholic school. The last time I saw her was in 2007. And I recognized her. And she was like completely zonked out. But I was like right next to the officer and I go and I call her name. I'm going to change her name, to protect her identity. I go, Pamela? And she's like, yeah. You're Pamela so-and-so, right? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, I'm Talia Montes. I used to be your classmate. And then she goes, oh, hey Talia, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fine. How are you doing? Turns out, like, I think that she had like a nervous breakdown or an anxiety attack or something at night, and she drank a lot, and she ended up driving completely, you know, like out of it, and like stuck her car in a ditch in front of my house. Like when we knew that it was when we knew that it was Pamela, you know, like I told my mom. My mom still had her mom's number in her contacts, and she called her, and like her mom came. I haven't seen her mom like in over 10 years. Then her grandfather came. I haven't seen her grandfather in over 10 years. It was the weirdest like school classmate reunion ever.
Never a dull moment in your life.
Nope.
God, no.
Oh, just...
Apparently, I just attract weird situations.
I mean, that's how you met us, so... I mean... Magnets for weird attract other magnets for weird.
It's hard to deny.
It's the opposite of how magnets actually work, where the two of the same ends just kind of away from each other. They just... until we just become a planet that has weird as its orbiting ring.
True.
So,
but yeah,
that's the story I wanted to tell.
It's a great story.
I have the feeling if we go for year-old stories, not too much in your recent life to add or to top this off.
She's been
a lot. It's just that I don't want to end up, you know, like talking all throughout the show without, you know, giving you guys an opportunity.
It's a fair chance. It's a fair chance. Choice.
It's fair, but I mean, like, we've also been stuck in our house for a week, so stories are limited.
But hey, do you have any anyways, Keyframe?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I guess the one development is, hi guys, I no longer sound like Dr. Girlfriend from the Venture Brothers anymore. So, my fever broke Wednesday or Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, something like that. I have a feeling it broke like twice. Like it broke, then it came back, and then it broke again, and it was like, oh, you're staying out this time. And then I was getting progressively better. Because that's the thing with me when I get sick, is that once the sickness hits its brunt and goes, I get better really quickly. When sickness hits, it fucking hits. And I'm dying. And I'm a sad little lump wearing 5 sweatshirts in the corner of a couch. Looking like the fucking hunter from Left 4 Dead 2. But no, I had that. And then yesterday was my first official day, like Friday and Saturday, whichever one was my first official day, where I was no symptoms. I was out of the 2-week quarantine that I was ordered, which means I was allowed to go back into the kitchen and I could go outside within reason. And then everything, which I have never been more excited to go to a grocery store. I was so happy to be like, there's a room outside my apartment. But one thing, which was an interesting find, was Kichi, Taylor, the roommate, said that there's an Asian market in town that we went to because I wanted to see if they had anything that they don't have in the normal market. And they did. And they had rice noodles, which made me very happy. And also they had like ramen. But the really, we could see your Discord.
Yep, that's the problem because I'm screen sharing to catch Talia.
Okay, but we had they had the bowls of the really spicy ramen, like the ramen that's so spicy when you put in the sauce packet, the noodles turn like dark red. And I was like, I will take this, and I will
You're
take
very
that.
brave.
I love spicy food, man, and I have a feeling that the day that I almost choked on a pepper when me and Max went to a ramen place was just an off day from car sickness. But I gobbled up that ramen so fast, I was like, this is the good stuff. This is the good shit. Also, they had ramen. They had the marble soda, which I love to death, and they had the blueberry flavor, which is my favorite because of course it is. But besides that, I bought a bunch of things because yesterday I cooked, and it was just so nice to cook again. I made like homemade Szechuan sauce and made Szechuan chicken noodles with the rice noodles, and I felt like, yes, this is what it feels like to be a functioning person.
The little joys right now.
Definitely the little joys. The blueberry flavor was the only ramenade flavor they had, or ruminade. It was the only marble soda that they had, so the liche flavor is good, though. But no, the other thing was, yesterday there was an event that happened called Ponyfest Online, which I have to give all my respect to. They assembled that thing in 1 week, and it had, I think when the fest started, like right before the fest opened, there were 1,300 people in the Discord that were attendees, not vendor, not staff. And then by the end, I think now the Discord for attendees now has maybe over 3,000 people. And they had live streamed events. They had guests of honor. They had like a bunch of gaming things. People were doing board games through tabletop sim and stuff. They had a Smash tournament. They had like people doing panels. They had a vendor area, which was the big reason for it. And people made really good sales. I opened up my website yesterday with the
finally.
shop. So I was able to do, I know you were waiting for that, but I wanted to build up. Because if it wasn't for Ponyfest, I probably would not have opened up my website so soon. And it was really good, and people were so nice. I sold the 3 shadow boxes we had in like a half hour.
I saw the post.
The Chrysalis box has the best fucking story, though, because the guy was like, hey, is your Chrysalis box still available? Also, I would like a couple other things. They lied when they said a couple. And I was like, yeah, sure. What would you like? Okay, so I would like the Chrysalis shadow box and 6 colored cutouts. BTW, the colored cutouts are $30 each. And I was like, okay, where are you from? And they were like, oh, Germany. I was like, you do realize you would have to pay international shipping for? And they were like, oh yeah, I'm sure. Doing the math, cutting shipping aside, they spent $245.
I mean, keep in mind that you usually don't make it to Germany, and
Galacon got canceled.
Yeah, so for a German, even to pay shipping fees on top of it, it's still cheaper than coming over there for a convention.
I know, and that's fair. It was just a shock. I also got an order from Japan yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm just like, cool. I need to go to my website tomorrow and actually fix all the shipping prices, because I only did one flat rate because I was just so fucking tired. As you could see I don't know if my webcam is being kind or not to me today, but there are little moons under my eyes, and
you definitely look a lot pinker and livelier than me, so you don't have to worry about that. I look like a ghost.
I mean, I have red undertones under my sad Irish skin. So, I mean, but no, point is, Ponyfest went really well, and to advertise for them, they will be doing the event again on April 25th, so 4 weeks from now, because BabsCon is canceled, so they want to help fill out the April convention, because the day that they held it yesterday would have been the first day of Winnie City PonyCon. And there's been lots of talks in there. I'm actually in talks with running a virtual charity auction, maybe an art show and all this stuff. So I may host a panel. It may not be you suck and why that's okay, because I don't know how to respond to that panel without audience response, because for anyone going in to the stream and not seeing that there's a Discord channel and all that stuff, they may just think that I'm talking to no one. But point being, there's stuff to do, and if you have a free day because it's a one-day thing and you just want to peek into the Discord and do stuff, it's so cool. And it was actually kind of nice to see these people who went on Twitter and was like, yeah, the fandom's not dead. It's concentrated, but it's not dead. When you see like the halls filled to like, you can scroll down and you would not stop scrolling down for minutes because of how many people were in the voice channels and everything. It was amazing, and it helped artists a lot, and that was the big point of it. So thank you, Roof and Dex, who ran Ponyfest, and Traveling Pony Museum, who helped out. You really did help out artists, and I thank you.
But yeah, I'm gonna link your website as well as a Twitter of Ponyfest, which has the Discord link in the description down below. Which probably only leaves my week. Being expectedly uneventful, we had one thing, which by now is so special, it's not even monthly anymore, that it's like, yay, I knew that stupid, woo.
I mean, to be fair, some of the stories behind that production is fun, though.
Oh, the stories behind the next video will be even more fun, I guess.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, if I could tell one thing,
Sure.
It was funny. So this was while he was in California with me. Before we went to Hibachi, we were having a business meeting. So like, I'm not going to go into details of the business meeting. It was just business and working out some stuff with visual aids and things. And one of the things was we wanted to be like, for videos over 10 minutes, the editors get a bonus. And they were like, Max was like, oh, yeah. That was always a thing. And did we never tell you that? And Chris and Sean were like, no, we didn't know that, Chrissy and Max. And it was like, oh, wait, you didn't tell him? You didn't tell him. It was because I usually am the one talking to the editors most of the time. The thing is, we have two theories. One we did and they forgot, which would look the nicest on us. The other being, Sean got brought in because of a person who was going to edit for us but didn't, who lives with Sean. And I know we told them. I don't think they relayed that information forward. And then Sean brought Chris in, and it was just kind of like, no one told anyone. But that was the funniest way to end a fucking meeting, was like, wait, you didn't tell him? You didn't tell him? No one told us.
So it was like kind of like the Office moment.
It definitely. You could, with how Sean and Chris act towards me and Max, you could make The Office out of just the adventures of editor, manager, and Max.
Yeah.
Should think about it, like using everybody's sonas or something. It could be very fun.
Not just we could just record a regular business call and pretend that it was scripted comedy. Nobody would be able to tell the difference.
You have that recorded?
No.
No, but I mean, some of the best, funniest things that we will ever do in our lifetimes are never recorded. I know for a fact, because I'm funny as fuck, but no one knows it. But that stupid came out. Hooray!
Yay! And so far went over predictably nice. I created a very successful echo chamber with my channel. So
I mean, to make a little argument for your comment section, there are people that point out stuff that you don't know. I did look through the comment section, and someone did point out someone for you to check out.
Yes,
about things.
but I only got one dislike today against 68 likes.
Attention to that. Like, if people ask me like for like a random video, oh, so how many likes and dislikes do you have? And like, I don't have it disabled or anything. It's just like, I really don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Well, you are the opposite of us.
Yeah. No, but it's like with this kind of content where basically a topic like homosexuality and then, let's be honest here, what do you call this title? How do you call this? Clickbait, yeah, thank you. And an entire show with an absolutely clickbaity title like That Stupid, to have a that homogeneous and non-controversial comment section, this isn't healthy, this is echo chamber. It's I know it's like, oh, my video is being so well appreciated by my audience,
I get your
but
point.
it's
Here's the way for you to get people. Post it on Reddit, and then you will get the hate you need. I as someone who is a Redditor and has given Reddit gold to people, I can tell you there are some Reddits that you could put that in, and you'll get the response you're looking for.
I am not a Redditor, which had the fun effect when I tried to use Reddit years ago. I just got bashed for daring to post my own stuff.
Nerd City has pointed out you're not encouraged to do that, so you have to frame it as not you, or you post it as or you have someone else post it for you, which is what I've done. Don't tell anyone.
But yeah, because I tried to do it all by myself as always. I mean, if you always also have a dedicated poster for you who is not doing anything but do it, it looks the same. So yeah. You need to have somebody who's actually active on Reddit to do stuff like this. But I don't know, get some controversy there. I wouldn't mind anybody posting it on Reddit or any of my other that
wink,
stupid.
Wink, nudge. I know you people some of you people that watch use 4chan. You could put it there.
Ooh.
I have never set foot in 4chan or Reddit. Ever.
Good for 4chan, good for you. Reddit, it depends on where you look. I know that I've talked about Reddit on the show before, mostly because I remember I talked about the best out of context quotes from pornos on this show before, which was just a Reddit thread, and it was great.
But are you just reading Reddit, or are you actually also posting?
I post on Reddit. I actually, one of the reasons I use Reddit often is that there's a Reddit called r/no-sleep, which is self-published horror stories, and I like reading them. And I've been in contact with some of the authors to do audio adaptations of them. And because for that specific
adaptations,
for that specific Reddit, you have to ask them for permission and stuff, and I also pay those authors so I can do it because it's their thing. I try to most reasons why some of my audio plays haven't come out yet is because I pay the authors and actors.
Are you mad? One does not pay people on the internet. It's about exposure. But yeah.
No, nothing. I was gonna say, did I already tell you guys like the story when they broke into my house?
What? No.
It was in.
Please tell us the story. We'll go into media in a bit. Tell us.
Okay. Like you mentioned the Reddit, and I'm like, yeah, because like I always wanted to write the story there. I was around 6 years old. And at that time, me and my siblings would all sleep in the same room. We had like 3 bunk beds, like one under the other. And our room was right next to the main door entrance to the house. And we start waking up. It was like, I think it was like a Saturday or a Sunday. We wake up because our dog, who sleeps with us in the room, is barking her ass off. And we don't understand what is going on. She never barked like that. So we finally kind of say, okay, we're gonna go check it out. And me and my sister, and my sister's behind me, I stand up and I open the door. And when I open the door, I see my dad, with like crazy eyes looking at me, and he grabs me by my pajama shorts and carries me like a freaking cartoon. And he has my sister on his other arm, and he just like throws us into his bed with my mom, and my brother is there, and they throw like 5 different comforters on top of us. And my mom just looks at me straight in the eye and says, Talia, there's bad men in the house. They broke in. Do not say anything and start praying now. And I'm like, okay. So I turn to my brother and my sister, and I say, okay, we need to pray. We need to stay very quiet. So we, put our hands together, start praying. We're like very small children. And my mom is freaking out, and my dad is taking out his gun, and he's like right next to the door, and they're trying to call my uncle so my uncle can call the police. They broke down the main door. That's what happened. My dad heard that and got out of bed and opened his door. That's like at the end of the hall towards the main door. He can't see the two men that broke in. They have like big ass guns. That's all he can see. You know, they have shotguns. He can't see them because the sun is, you know, behind them. So you can't see shit. They just say, you know, do not move. Of course, my dad didn't do that because right next to them, it was our room, me and my sibling. So when he charges towards them, they divert towards the living room. They never shot. So that's how, you know, he ended up in front of my room. We were all locked there for like 2 hours. All I can remember was like freaking out, but not, you know, crying. And I could hear the two men walk next to my parents' door. And then they made a turn and they got right next to my parents' window that was closed. I could hear them because there were dry leaves on the floor and you could hear them crunch. And the dog kept barking, 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 barking. And then, you know, we heard her cry and then she didn't bark anymore. And we were so scared because we started thinking, oh my God, they killed Funky. But like, thank God they didn't. When the police came, they knocked on the door and they said, we are the police, you know, my badge number is this, you know, they slide the badge number, they slide the badge under the door. They opened my dad opens the door. I flew so fast towards that police officer. I clung to him, you know, I hugged him so tight. He just like opened his arms and just like hugged me and never let me go. I was so freaking scared. My mom was freaking out, you know, like, there's more to the story, but like I can tell you that, you know, like privately as friends, you know, like we kind of know why they broke in, but you know, like we don't want to assume either. But it was a crazy time, yeah. And
Jesus Christ, man. Your life is too interesting to be on this show, man. Like, Christ almighty.
But I just want to say, Key, with your reaction to hearing like, oh, somebody broke into your place, you reminded me of something. Or someone.
I have a lighter story. Oh God. Why do you put that comic up?
Don't you? No, I'm not that. I was excited for the story. Obviously, it has a good ending because she's still alive. Like,
the dog could have been killed.
I didn't know about the dog part.
I mean, the dog made it through, but still, you were.
Dog, I think they just kicked her or something. The dog wasn't harmed.
Oh, no, it's sad.
Thank God. You know, she lived, you know, many years after that. But I have a lighter story. I mean, there was one time where a guy broke in our backyard and tried to steal one of our bikes. You know, he cut down the chain, but I think that suddenly at that moment he had to, you know, go number 2. So he decided to go number 2 right there, you know, in the yard. At that moment, my dad walks outside. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, I just needed to go to the bathroom." And my dad is like, "What bathroom? There's no bathroom here. Pick that up with your hand and leave." And they're like, "But I can't pick that up with your hand." And he makes the robber cry, and the robber just like tries to look for something to pick up his number 2, and he grabs like a little piece of leaf. And he just like starts scooping it, and he's like crying, you know, "Please don't call the police, please don't let me do it, please don't report me." And my dad is like, "How are you? Like, you should be ashamed. Like, your mom didn't teach you."
Your dad. Your dad is awesome.
Get out of here! And the robber just like leaves the bike and just like goes with the poop in his hand, just leaves my backyard. And that's when my dad realized, you know, that he was cutting down the chain to rob the bicycle. So like, I don't know if that's a lighter story for your take.
Your dad rolled a nat 20 on intimidation in that second, but
But
to
I
move
guess
on to media,
exactly,
Christ.
and of course this week's sponsor.
Yeah.
Slytherin. Yeah.
The best house, and the house that Max isn't.
Exactly. I mean, I have actually one more thing that happened to me this week, but I keep it as an answer for one of the questions today that I spotted earlier.
Okay.
And with that, I guess we can start into the media. Who wants to go first?
Can I go first simply because this media is awful?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I wasn't going to. I talked about Muppets in the pre-show. So let me tell you about tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
That is already such a mouthful of a name.
Okay, so this show is a Power Rangers clone. Like, you know, this was during the time in the 90s where everyone wanted to make a Power Rangers. And I found this at the end of a commercial compilation I was watching. And I was like, I need to know what this show is. And this show is so bad. So it's about these 4 kids from Beverly Hills who they have tattoos that glow on their wrist when they need to go save the world. They're not real tattoos. I think they shined a light bright onto their hands or something. Thank you, end screen. Yeah. But no,
why? And why is that end screen this early? And why does it? This is half the video.
But no, the thing is, the show's so bad, but it's also amazing because none of the characters are good, and I don't mean like poorly written, but they are poorly written in that all these characters are like the most toxic ass people ever. Like, they don't like each other. They're not friends. One of them is just like, yeah, I'm going to go to Princeton and be like a super great business tycoon and then become president. And like the other, and you know, they all hate each other basically, but they're this team. And all the fights take place, I'm assuming, on some, like, just one soundstage that they put different backdrops on. I've seen performances at Six Flags with Power Ranger people with better performances. Their statements that they make, like, to announce that they're transforming is like Leo, Taurus, Centaur, Apollo. So they don't even stick to a theme because 2 are zodiac signs, one's a mythical creature, the other one's just a god, which that's the biggest thing that annoys me out of anything. Also, I watched one episode with Sean and Chris and the crew, and they pointed out something when they were looking up the cast, and that gets to me. The villain is played by the voice of Baloo from Tailspin, and now I can't unhear Baloo when I hear the villain's voice. And the villain's little parrot sidekick is Wise Ass from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I also can't unhear. And it's like you know, one of the weasels. And it's like, I hate this more now. And the nerd character, the black guy, I have nothing against people with lisps, but he has that lisp that people use for stereotypical gay people. I have no idea what you're
talking about.
That's what he sounds like, though.
Oh, really? This is an annoying voice to you. I guess I have to keep this in mind now.
But no, the thing is, when he's supposed to be angry and serious and do fighting things, that voice does not.
I will kick you in the face. Take this, evildoer.
And then, and some of the CGI effects, making quotes here, look like presets in, some movie maker that a college kid would have. Pre-After Effects bad. And it's such a bad show. But then I discovered when I looked it up after watching an episode, it had 40 episodes. So your girls sat down and watched every single one because they're all on YouTube, baby. And each episode's a half hour, so do the math. What's 40
hours.
Half hours? I watched 20 hours of tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills, and it says something that I can't remember their names.
After 40 hours, yes.
I call them Blondie Kardashian, Michael J. Fox, and Black Guy. Because I don't get, because the Michael J. Fox character is like the Michael J. Fox from his from when Michael J. Fox had like a sitcom in the 80s, like Growing
Wait, it
not
is
Growing
Michael J.
Pains.
Fox?
No, it's not Michael J. Fox. The guy
Okay.
is just like Michael J.
Oh,
Fox's
okay.
character when he had a sitcom back in the day. You know,
Okay,
how
I
he
get
got
it.
his start. But like, because Michael J. Fox's character in the sitcom, it's not Growing Pains, it's something else. Was like the Reaganomics, like wearing a suit all the time as a teenager, wanting to get into like Princeton University and all that stuff. Except Michael J. Fox is likable and is funny, and this kid isn't. But here's the thing. If you want something to riff on with someone, if you want to get drunk and watch with some friends online and just riff Mystery Science Theater the hell out of a show, this is the best fucking show to do it to. I watched most of it alone. I think I may be projecting what I wanted to do, but we watched one episode and everyone was like, we're not watching more. But please, I actually recommend watch this show.
With friends and booze, if you're of age.
With friends and booze, if you're of age, if you're not, just with friends. Because, oh my god, I need more people to revel in how weirdly bad this show is. Also, the complete series is available on DVD. It may or may not be in my Amazon cart, but what, Max? What? Mr. $70 on a robe? I could spend $20 on a complete series DVD.
$70 on a robe?
Yes, it's a pretty awesome robe, a bathrobe. It's TARDIS. It's a TARDIS from Doctor Who. But
I mean, it is a pretty awesome robe.
Is it made of endangered Muppet skin or something? Like, what the hell?
It's made out of Grover from Sesame Street.
I personally love that you still have to bring up this bathrobe that I bought like 3 or 4 years ago.
It's the best example.
No, but here's the thing: you keep bringing up new stuff every other week that you spend money on, and you still are like, yeah, but the bathrobe. By now, you have probably spent 10 times what I spent on this single bathrobe on other shenanigans that you bought yourself.
I spend very little on these shenanigans, which is why I disperse them over time. I don't drop a lump sum of stupid. Like, the lump sum of stupid is watching 20 hours of tattooed teenage alien fighters.
Excuse me, I am very, very good with my money.
I could always make the argument of okay, you know what? I have the new thing that I could say. Yeah, how's that tablet doing?
Not too well. I mean, the dust.
Can you write "help me" on it still?
That's a tablet. I think it's a notebook.
No, it's an Intuos.
Oh.
No, but
yeah.
I found a great new use for it. Digitally signing stuff, PDFs for my work that I'm working from home now.
Lovely. I'm glad that it got a use.
Wait. You bought a Intuos tablet, Wacom, right?
Yeah, Wacom.
Okay, you bought a Wacom Intuos tablet because you need to sign in
digital.
No. That would be an amazing sign of frivolousness. But no, he wanted to do it to try drawing, but he draws very little. But now it has a use because he's working from home. I'm going to defend him in this one point. He ain't that bad.
And I might or might not actually have drawn something with it for a project that Keyframe is working on.
Okay, because I was going to say, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, if you bought an Intuos tablet too...
You would have had a triggered artist right there.
It's like, what?
But yeah, that was my media. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
I think yours win. I cannot top.
I'll send Max the first episode link on YouTube, and he can link that in the description.
Okay.
Write in the comments, AWKWARDCast sends you there, so when I go back to watch it, which I will see how many people I've decided to go there.
That actually sounds awesome. So yeah, everybody watching on YouTube, click the link in the description and write the thing.
Yeah, but that was my media. Which one of you two wants to go next?
I guess I can...
Don't jump at all at once.
I can go next.
I'm just waiting for the command, I'm the guest here,
All right, fine. If you need a command like a vampire, Talia, you go next. What's your media?
Wait, who told you? That was supposed to be a personal secret.
I mean,
but
come on, for somebody from South America, you have a relatively pale skin, or it's the lighting, so obviously you are a vampire.
It's the lighting. I don't go out in the sun, and I am very white because, well,
half Italian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But no, but yeah, enough about your whiteness, because either way, you're still darker than us. What is your media?
I know. My piece of media is and you're gonna say that it's too mainstream. My piece of media is Beastars.
Oh, okay.
I still need to watch
I
it.
have known about this like manga, this story for a very long time.
I've
just
read
like
the manga. I haven't watched the anime, so I'm guilty of not watching
you
it.
should. It's a lot of fun. Very high school, but it's fun within the high school cliches that it has. I was there, in 2016 when Zootopia came out, and then people said, "Oh, look, there's a Japanese manga that's like trying to copy Zootopia," and I'm like, "No."
There's things that happen in Beastars that's not in Zootopia. We can assure that.
Yeah. So I think with the anime came out last year. It came out first in the Japanese TV, and of course it got leaked and subbed for the internet. So people have been watching the anime since last year, but it got officially, my accent came out there for a second. It got officially released on Netflix this year. And I watched it, of course, because I didn't watch the whole anime in Japanese with with subs. And I'm like, you know what? Netflix completely crushed it, with the previous, anime Spanish dub that I saw. So I decided to give it a try, and I decided to watch it from the very beginning with the Spanish dub, Latino Spanish dub. And I was like, the good Latino Spanish dubs don't exist anymore. They're a thing of the past. I had the privilege of growing up with them. They are top tier because they're translated directly from Japanese. I think I talked about this in the previous, podcast that I was with you guys. The point is, it's very rare to find like a really, really, really good Spanish dub with the famous voice actors, the voice actors that we know in South America. I was like, thoroughly, surprised. I even tweeted the voice of Legosi on Twitter saying, that was an amazing, performance. And he answered, he was like, thank you. And I think what's important of this piece of media is that it gives a taste to a wider audience of like a type of furry media that is available, but it's mainstream, like people that are not within the fandom, people that don't really consume cartoons or anime are watching it now. And I think that's kind of outstanding. What I also think it's outstanding is that for people that don't know, the manga and the anime have a very, very gigantic stylistic difference. I mean, like you see some, takes from the creators' designs, but they're very different. You read the manga and you see the lines are very sketchy. They're very dirty looking. There's not really a lot of attention to perspective or to body proportions. Like that's not what's important in the story. And because there's animals too, I mean, like who cares, right? I think that what is so important is the fact that this is a piece of, like art that was made by a woman, a furry, like she identifies as a furry. I'm not insulting her.
Yes, yeah. In fact,
yeah. She it's like a woman, a furry, and somebody that would be considered as a sloppy artist, in Japan for manga standards. And she totally said F you to everybody. And now her story, her art, her comics, sorry, I shouldn't say comics, her manga is the most read manga internationally right now. Like from the last time that I read it, it's like the most popular internationally read manga right now. So I just think it's amazing, you know, like she basically said, you know, like I don't give three shits, you know, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna draw like in the way that I feel more comfortable. Like, you know, F the perspective, you know, rules, F the story rules, F the fact that they're furries, I don't care. And like I love the fact that people are, you know, like people don't, you know, like just see it and they go, oh, you know, it's a furry thing. No. They go in, they watch the story, they take it in as a whole. And like for something like that manga to do that, it's pretty cool. And don't get me started on the technical advancements in 3D animation, like with the 2D style. Nice. I mean, like freaking Orange Studio needs an award.
It's definitely interesting to see how cel-shaded 3D animation has advanced, because we used to only see that in like video games, because that was a very often way to get away with having low polygon models, because, you know, less mesh, because you're shading them like you would a 2D model, to make the impression of shadows and depth when they're not there. And now, you know, it's being used in like 2D animes, CG animes, for either like the transformation sequences that they had in the Sailor Moon Crystal, or Batman Ninja, or
any of the Naruto Shippuden games.
Exactly. So it is really interesting. And also, from the clips I've seen of Beastars, I have not seen the anime itself yet, but they do go into different animation styles in certain parts of episodes too. Like I think I saw a stop motion part and stuff. So
stop motion, paper animation, 2D animation, and 3D.
Yeah, it's definitely ambitious, which I respect, and I do need to watch it.
Yep.
I should have watched that, but instead I did 20 hours of Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Well, you know, you're going to get
priorities
by watching it, in my opinion.
Oops.
But yeah, who do you recommend the show to? And also, who do you not recommend the show to? Because I've seen divisive opinions about the show.
Okay. Well, the manga is certainly a lot heavier to take in. It's a lot more... let's see, shocking, gruesome, you know, and like it's strong, es fuerte, te pega fuerte, like we say it in Spanish. It hits you hard. I think that nobody under the age of 13 should watch the anime. I don't know the rating exactly, but like in my opinion, if you're 13, you're okay to watch it. You know, like it's heavy. You know, like it's emotionally heavy. You know, they touch on depression. They touch on slut shaming. They touch on you know, self-harm. You know, that all that sort of stuff. I mean, like it's a heavy piece of media. You know, like it's a dramatic story. You know, but it's also a wonderful story because it touches upon, you know, like the different prejudices that, you know, we face in our day to day. It touches, you know, mental health. It touches, you know, like difference in societies, you know, like the different society levels that, you know, some people belong to. I think that, you know, if you like mystery, if you like, you know, heavy dialogue about, you know, topics about, you know, emotions and feelings and, you know, kind of like stressful living situations. I mean, I think that if you like stories that have that, this is the piece of media for you. If you're trying to get into furry content, it is the more mainstream available thing to watch right now. Well, there's also Agretsuko, but Agretsuko is like very cutesy. But like,
if you want something a little bit grittier, I guess Beastars is the furry content you're looking for.
I was trying to like find that. If you like gritty, like heavy, emotionally heavy stuff, it's for you. It's definitely for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
But yeah, is there anything other notes you want to give on the show before we move to Max's media, which I'm sure is a splash?
Well, I think that there is one thing that, you know, kind of bothers me a little bit. I mean, like, I do furry art, like, but am I a furry? I don't know. Like, if people say that I am, great. I don't know if I meet all the requirements. That's why I don't go around saying, oh, I'm a furry, but I do make furry content.
Mm-hmm.
This anime being so mainstream, like I've seen, like videos and TikToks of people, going, oh my God, I like Beastars. Does that mean that I'm a furry now? I'm a furry now because I like the one anime with the anthropomorphic wolf.
I like Zootopia. I guess I'm a furry.
Yeah, it's like that, and I'm like,
Do tell me about what makes a furry, please. Is there a single? Oh wait, I have an alien chick on my backdrop, but the rest, yeah.
I mean, all different species. So still, there's a xenophile aspect with furriness, I guess. But no, that's just the thing. History repeats itself because when Zootopia came out, there's that statement. When Agretsuko became big, that's that statement, and then you have like. I feel like that statement's been repeating ever since, furry became a thing and people thought about how much they liked the Robin Hood movie or Great Mouse Detective as a kid,
Because here's the thing. I mean, like, it's totally fine if it grabs you and you, submerge yourself and you educate into the fandom in the different pockets of it. And, you do your research and you see if this, fandom, this group of people, this subculture is for you. It's a totally other different thing if you watch one piece of, furry related media and you say, oh, I'm a furry because I like this movie. So that effectively, makes me a member of this subculture. It's a weird comparison, but it's like that one girl that decides to listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit and says, oh, I'm a grungy chick. Look at my Nirvana shirt. I only buy stuff from thrift stores. I am so edgy.
Those posers. They are no real furries.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. I mean, one of my favorite artists on Fur Affinity does not identify as a furry. Wildering. On their Fur Affinity page, they say they are not a furry. They just like drawing artwork, furry artwork. But there is, just like, say, the pony fandom, there's distinctions of fandom and like what you are and what you identify as. You can say that you enjoy like you can enjoy some animes, but you're not a weeb. Or you can say, or you could say, hey, I enjoy certain things from Overwatch, but I'm not an Overwatch fan. I'm not an Overwatcher or whatever their fandom is called. Non-existent is what it's called nowadays.
Raise the roof.
I say as I have so much Lucio shit in my house, but
like very true. You alone keep the Overwatch franchise running with your purchases.
By just having Lucio stuff and having other people buy Lucio stuff for me. No, but
yeah,
it's like if you want to be like, it's totally fine. Like, you want to be a furry, you want to self-identify as that. Then like, go into it. Like I said, just like educate yourself. See if it's for you. Don't say that you are something just for a surface value. That's what I'm trying to say.
And here's a very easy test for anybody trying to figure out if you are truly a furry or if you just enjoy this one furry heavy piece of media.
Okay, let's see.
If you happen to watch Into the Abyss and your takeaway is that this character is super duper cute, then you are a furry. Which brings me to my media, coincidentally.
Nice transit.
Emotionally heavy anime. That thing is a death trap for your heart, and it's freaking
I have not seen
weird.
So
Max, tell me about it.
I already got challenged earlier, like, how are you going to talk about this without spoiling? Challenge accepted. I will not give any plot spoilers, but I will have to give some theme-related spoilers. So I have watched the first season now. There are also 2 movies out, but those movies are only subbed so far, and poor me, pseudo illiterate person that is me, he said after reading for Project Horizon. In anime it's like very exhausting when it has subtitles and I miss half the plot and I need to pause every few seconds, which is not a great viewing experience. I have not checked out the movies yet, not at least because we only finished watching the series today. What to say about it? So first, there was a beautiful scene that Denim dug up while we were watching it. This, what I came for, what I expected, what I got. And it was like what I came for, basically the cover art. What I expected, some kind of moe, cutesy pic.
Shit.
And then what I got.
Pain!
No, and what I got, I'm a one version with just a face of H.P. Lovecraft. And another one with a picture from the Nazis' face melting from Last Crusade. No, not Last Crusade, the other one.
I need to watch this.
So here's the thing, because anybody who saw it in whatever year it came out was like, whoa, anime of the year contender. And I was like, okay, I need to watch this. And something you can say from the very beginning, it is very beautiful. The thing is like, moe art style, if you look at the characters, they are extremely moe, and it's like, if you are not really into moe, that might be a little bit of something that sets you, for me personally, I'm not into moe, so it was like, but everybody kept praising it. Everybody was like, I'm into the best, blah. And I okay, I put it on my watch list, and I was like, we need to watch. We what did we finish? We finished watching something. But yeah, we finished watching something. So we were like, okay, let's watch Made in Abyss. I finally need to see this. One thing to point out. It is a slow start. You the first 6 episodes give you a very, very false sense of the genre you are joining up for. Because for the first 6 episodes, it's really pretty moe. It has this adventure, world-building stuff, all the anime tropes that you expect there to be. And then in the 6th, I believe the 6th or 7th episode out of 13, mind you, so half the series was like this, where it was like, okay, yeah, it's still cutesy, whatever. They mention darker themes, but every other anime does this, and they never actually... It's just like, oh, there is this glooming threat, and at the end of it, it's still defeated with the power of love and friendship, and not a single drop of blood or tear gets shed. This one, who should not watch it? So it basically adventure. There's a giant hole in the ground, which is the abyss, and there are adventurers who go down there, and only the toughest and roughest can go down there and go up, and there is a curse that makes it all super troubling to get up, and you literally get this told by this bunch of prepubescent children. This is probably also something something to keep in mind. I want to come back to the prepubescent children in this show.
I know, that's why I said it was weird.
Oh, well, let's get to this first. Generally, so what they do is we have this little blonde girl here, Rico is her name.
I skimmed over it. I don't remember.
Yeah,
when I saw the weird shit, I clocked out.
Okay, but yeah, Rico. And she's like, oh, my mommy is in the bottom of the abyss. Let's go down there where all those deadly monsters are. What can go wrong? I'm a moe girl. I can do this. And she has this moe robot dude who is like, sure, I'm soul bond to you. This is not happening, but he acts like he is. And let's go down there into the super duper deadly thing where nothing can go wrong. Once again, the first 6 episodes are in this kind of mindset, and then suddenly you get the first actually creepy character. And from there it goes downwards, pun intended. And it goes really gruesome. It's like body horror.
urethra.
Yeah, it goes body horror. It goes also emotional, but it starts shooting at you emotionally in the last handful of episodes. Like the last three episodes of the season. This is where suddenly emotions get dialed up, and you are like, "Oh my god, why?" And this combined with all the gory shit going on. So be aware if you get. So this is basically like, be aware if you're squeamish and you think like the first. You are like carefully getting in there. The first 4 or 5 episodes are fine. It's a slow burn. At the beginning, it's a slow burn, and then suddenly, like the last few episodes, we were like, "Whoa, this got interesting," and then we were like, "More, and we basically finished it in the remaining episode in one go. One other thing I want to mention, which Denim and I really realized at the end of the viewing, like this show would be a lot less uncomfortable if the protagonist would be like 3 or 4 years older, to be at the usual anime age of characters, or if you want to go for the Western world, please make them at least 18.
Yep.
Because this show, I watched a few episodes of Eromanga Sensei. I believe I never made it past episode 4 or something.
I got through the whole thing.
I know, but yeah, it gave me certain vibes because for some reason, and this is this show is an emotional and theme-wise, now what do you call it again? Whiplash, constant whiplash of themes, of emotions, of whatnot. For some reason, they felt it appropriate to also bring very awkward sexual innuendos with those preteens in there.
Like, how young are we talking? I can't tell.
12. The girl is 12. She is acting completely prepubescent in the sense of that she has no sexual awareness whatsoever. The boy
does.
character does. And
I mean,
it's in the title, it's in the theme. When you watch the theme, you see those characters, ding, 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 and then they meet each other, and the girl jumps and basically suffocates him with his crotch. She jumps up on his face, and then glides down, and it's like, hee 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 hee, and he blushes. So this means something to him. He is not ignorant to it. He is definitely not, and they bring this up from the first or second episode. Every now and then they bring a little bit of a glimpse of her suddenly being naked, and he's being all like, "Oh, you don't see anything as the audience, but it's enough what they imply." And it's like,
if he's 12, then he's going to enter puberty. That's just how a boy is.
No, but like the thing is that this anime, they purposefully, create scenes to convey sexual humor, but the conveyance of that sexual humor is characters that are 12 years old.
Yes.
And they look very cute. They look very, very baby-ish because they are moe. They are designed.
I can get the uncomfortableness, but I'm just saying, like, it is not outside the realm for me to think of a boy of that age acting like that.
It's true,
that's not the thing that is abnormal. What's normal is how it's presented.
Yes.
Okay, that I understand. Keep in mind, you two have watched it, I have not.
Yeah, but
maybe I would get the uncomfortable vibes too.
I gave the comparison of Eromanga Sensei vibes, where it like, Eromanga Sensei, you have this lolly sitting there and completely closed, but the camera felt the need to pan down her body until it is below the table.
That's what we're talking about.
Like this, not this kind of thing is not directly happening, but the vibe is there, and it's like, why?
Okay, I get it now.
Otherwise, I would agree with people that it is a very great anime. It's a beautiful anime. The whiplash in tone is something that's like, as I said, the first half of the first season is like an absolute slow burn that gives you a feeling of like everything is fine, everything is cool. This is just a wacky, silly moe adventure, and then suddenly it goes, well, Lovecraftian or body horror or whatever you want to call it, and very bloody and creepy.
Which is also, kind of off-putting because the characters are designed the way they are.
Yes.
And then, you subject those characters to excruciating, extreme emotional and physical pain.
Also, yeah. Okay, now I can understand now with how Denim put it. If it's not necessary, then okay, I get now.
Yes.
I get it now.
And
He is right. Denim Ninja is right. The sexuality, like the sexual jokes in the story are just, gravy. You know, they're not important.
And once again, make them 3 years older, because 15 is the normal anime age, and with 15-year-old characters, while it's in theory still creepy, it's like, they don't look 15, that's cool, I can laugh about this, they are just all in high school, what? But yeah.
They're just all horny teens.
Exactly.
Make them teens, at least, if you're going to use that excuse.
They are not. Anyways.
There's nothing wrong about the awkward Japanese sexual humor. I mean, like, Olinoko 35 is like saying, or is it more that like awkward Japanese sexual humor? Like, there's nothing wrong with Japanese awkward sexual humor. I laugh my ass out, like on other anime. But the characters are like, drawn in, older. It would be a different situation if you're watching a high school anime and the guy trips because he's like mopping the floor or something and he lands on his like classmate's boobs. I mean, like, it's funny. If you draw it funny, I'm gonna laugh. I'm not gonna, take it, like, super seriously because, like, they're 17 or whatever. It's funny. But, they're 17, they're in high school, and they're drawn to look like 17 high schoolers. These are characters that are drawn to look like
kids.
Little adults. They're kids.
But not to dwell too much on it, because, in all fairness, those are just very few instances sprinkled throughout the entire runtime of the series. It's just a little bit of it's just a little bit of a red flag for anybody who really reacts badly to those kind of things. Like a little warning, but in all honesty, I consider the other stuff that happened in the second half of the season a lot more disturbing. So that's one thing. So yeah, I guess in general, if all those red flags and warnings I gave you sounded intriguing rather than off-putting to you, I hope except for the sexual one, I would probably join with all the people who are like, whoa, this is great, watch it. Because when the season ended, Denim and I were both like, shit, we want to check out those movies. We immediately were like, okay, what's the state of the movies? Shit, subbed. Which is probably a bigger issue for me, since she can actually understand a bit of Japanese. So,
but you're also the slowest reader and still haven't seen Parasite, so
it's very true. Yeah. But yeah, besides that, at the end of it, after we made it through the first few episodes, and God, Rico is a very exhausting character in the beginning. So she's, I guess, a little bit of a spoiler. So at some point she is unconscious. And that episode was my favorite episode. So the protagonist,
that sounds like how one of my favorite episodes. Sounds like how one of. Sorry.
Yeah, I really don't like the protagonist. The robot boy is okay, but a little bit bland. She is really the best character, or they, or he. It's hard to tell.
The rabbit.
The rabbit. The rabbit is easily my favorite character. Followed by the creepy lady.
I mean, it kind of sounds like how my favorite episode of the Rose era of the David Tennant Doctor was the episode where she switched bodies with the skin that needed to be sprayed on all the time. So which was also like one of the first episodes of the David Tennant season. So, but no. Yeah, so I guess we move to questions now?
Yes, we made it through the things. Okay, the good thing is, since we went very long with media and everything, I only have one on Discord.
You mean Twitter?
Yes, I meant Twitter. It's, as always, by J-Rock, and I still fuck up this name. Sorry for that still. It's once again a Would You Rather, and as always, I assume to know the answer. I assume it to be anonymous, but so far I have been wrong every time, haven't I?
Yeah, but what is it?
For all three, would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? Since
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
But does anybody want to give a reason for that? I mean,
would want
I
to
mean,
hear
I probably shouldn't speak since we are talking about two very iconic female superheroes, and I, as a man, am probably not allowed to speak against either of them. So please, ladies, why would you say Wonder Woman? And I agree, by the way.
Denim, you first.
You go first, Keith.
Oh, really? Okay.
Let the flame wars begin.
Okay. I'm just going to make the stipulation. With my answer, I'm simply talking MCU, Captain Marvel.
I mean, nobody knows Captain Marvel outside of it.
No, I've read the Captain Marvel comics.
Never mind that.
Yeah, because I researched it because I really like the Miss Marvel that's in one of the that's coming out. But no, MCU Captain. I feel like I would just want to hurt her. Like I don't like her. I don't like that character. Look, I don't give a shit about the actress. It's not that. I know everyone's kind of like, oh, it's basically like how a superhero power fantasy is for a man. I don't care. I don't like her. I think half the things she does in the movie is totally not justified, and she's just a bitch to people. And I don't want to, my power fantasy is not being a bitch.
Yeah, you are a bitch in real life. I'm getting so hurt. Nah.
You're lucky there's travel restrictions right now.
I know.
You're lucky there's travel restrictions right now, so I can't say you only have this many days left. But no, the fucking thing is just I don't think she's that good to the point. I'm just saying a character should not have to have other characters audibly say, I like her, or she's the coolest, or she's the best Avenger, for her to be the best. I know a lot of my decision is coming from meta ways, but I don't care. And to go into why Wonder Woman, I mean, fucking, I'm a DCU fan, so I could say shit. Wonder Woman's just fucking awesome. She's a creation of the gods. And she's the glue that holds the main three together.
She's the heart between the brain Batman and the muscle Superman.
The secret is she has all three. The other two are just meatheads. But, like, I mean, she's just awesome. And she's probably the most adept to fight with. And here's the thing. She can teach you how to fight. Captain Marvel's powers is just that she just shooty shoots from her damn hands because she got infected by the Texarax. The point is, Wonder Woman could make me like an Amazon and train me, and I could be the buff chick I've always wanted to be. So yeah. What about you, Talia?
Okay, Wonder Woman, and like, here's the thing. I'm basing myself off, MCU because I think it's easier because I have seen Wonder Woman, in different pieces of media, but I haven't really read any of the Captain Marvel comics or anything. She has a very bad attitude. Like, what the hell would I do? Like being her sidekick or fighting with her. I honestly, I think that she would just bring me along with like a big bag with her tampons, her like ibuprofen, and like like whatever else she needs, and whenever she feels like she needs like a drink or something, I would hand out stuff to her. I think like honestly the best thing that you can do is just be her personal assistant or something. She has a very bad attitude. Like I think, and I don't want to get hate for it, but like I think that she is a representation of toxic femininity.
Yes, that's like, it.
I'm a girl. All the boys are crap. All the boys are going to treat me like shit. So why should I treat them, any better? That sort of thing. Wonder Woman is leveled. She carries herself with grace. She will never, think of anybody as less as her. Like even the freaking villains. I mean, like, it's like fight with honor or whatever the hell, just like. She carries herself the way everybody should carry themselves. She's poised. She's just. and she is respectful.
She's
So,
she's
or,
great.
you know-
She'll punch you in the face. Like,
She doesn't use force unless it's absolutely necessary.
I mean,
Exactly.
her biggest.
Just goes around, destroying shit, saying, like just showing everybody that, she's a tough woman and she will end you if you cross her the wrong way or whatever the hell.
I mean, one of her first scenes on Earth was her destroying a Blockbuster. So,
It's true.
but yeah.
I don't like She has a bad personality. I wouldn't hang out with her even if I got paid to do it.
I mean, to take the flame off of you two, I actually liked the moment when Thanos punched her in the face.
Oh hell yeah! I think in the movie theater, I clapped when it happened, and I heard other people clapping too, so I'm not alone. But I think one of the things to just add to her point, and then we can say why you would pick it. I think it's something to be said. If you want to make a good feminist character, let's just put it as feminist, I guess. Or if you want to make a good character that is supposed to be a representation for a minority or something like that, to make the character, you shouldn't have to state that because this character is this thing that she is the best. She should be doing it by the actions that she does, not what is said about her. And to just make a good character. And at the end of the day, Wonder Woman's just a good character. Well written, not just good alignment. She's a good character, and Captain Marvel isn't.
No. I mean, not for the movie, at least.
Yeah, but Max, who would you choose? I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's also Wonder Woman, obviously. Same argument as you two. As Dahlia, only really know the MCU incarnation of Captain Marvel. She is probably easiest. I mean, I ranted about it when it came out on this show. Find the old episodes. I talked about how she is just bad and how even after Infinity War, no, the other one, Endgame. Even after Endgame, I was like, they had to remove her for the majority of the movie because she is story breaking. And in the very end, they needed to include a spaceship for her to break, because it's the only thing she is good for without being too overpowered for the story. So, yeah. And even here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Thor is probably on a similar power level. I mean, when he comes in Infinity Wars, it's like a game changer for the entire war happening. And yet with him, I never have this feeling that he is so overpowered. Because you don't see him break spaceships with his fists. He just doesn't do it. So, yeah, this argument, like, she is just the power fantasy for a female version of the guy power fantasy. It's not true. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember us after we went to go see Captain Marvel. You, me, and Yuri were like, "How are they going to include her in Infinity War and Endgame?"
I mean, if you give me a fuck, marry, kill list and you start with Captain Marvel, you don't need to read the other two names. I will kill her.
Yeah, same. I guess we know what probably next week's fuck, marry, kill will be. But no. Thank you for the question, J-Rog. To go to Discord, which we didn't have a lot this week. How dare you guys not ask a lot of questions?
Thank goodness, we are already 1.5 hours in.
Maybe that's why they remembered how long the podcast was with Talia last time. I was like, oh, we can't ask a lot of questions. There's 2 questions about being in isolation. So I'm going to go with the question not in isolation first.
Okay.
Just because it's different. I'm going to change this around, though, because I want to be happy on this show. I don't need to know what Max doesn't particularly like about me.
Oh, okay. What?
No, because the full question is, what is one thing you can earnestly say that about the other that you don't like? I don't mean a simplistic dislike or a small gripe, a legitimate thing that despite you knowing them for a good while rubs you the wrong way. We don't need to go into marriage counseling on this show, man. Somebody was predicting. Enigma wants to really pry into our lives.
What am I supposed to say about Talia? We only talked twice and it was on this show.
The thing is, he did put in parentheses, guests can answer this question in relation to them knowing them or their own friend or being their own friend. Talia would only have things to say about me, like in that case.
Enigma's already...
It's the $70 robe. We can go with that answer.
Yeah, there you go. No, buying a Wacom and barely using it.
Enigma is already booing you in the chat.
I just... Look, here's the thing, Enigma. I can say a lot of bad things about myself to the point that I need to go see a therapist. I don't need my best friend of 6 years to tell me these things. And I already know things that he doesn't like about me.
I think it's like a personal question to incite conflict. I mean, like
no, it's fine. Enigma's just... This is the types of questions he asks. I also like messing with his questions because he hates it. So, but no, I can state I know one thing that Max doesn't like about me earnestly because he's told me about it. Because he says because we had this conversation on my birthday last year. He's like, you got to stop being so passive. Like, because whenever he's like, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? I'm like, I don't care, whatever you want to do. And he's like, it's your Christine, like it's your birth. I think there was actually a point where he called me by my full name, which I don't like. But God, I guess I answered. But no, but, I mean, the only other thing I know other things, but the funnier thing is that I know that he gives me a look of disgust whenever I open things with my teeth. But that's never changing.
Until you actually break your teeth and you need prosthetic teeth with 27 years or something.
Be happy you've never seen me open cans with my teeth, because I've done that too. Soda cans, mind you. I do the thing, so I flip the soda can, grab them by my two front teeth, and open the can like that. And I did that for like 5 years, and I've never broken these, so... But I also now have to pay dental insurance monthly, and I don't feel like rising that premium, so we're not doing that anymore.
But yeah,
okay,
Enigma's modified version. Or what? So what is the modified version of it? Or
just something about each other that you can probably pick on the most or annoy each other. I just don't like how it's like, what is that flaw that you absolutely hate about the other person? Like, I like just this bit, that question, but diet, so you can make it comedic if you want to. Because my answer is honestly comedic, so because I don't have a lot of things I don't like about you. Or at least a lot of things I don't like about you that I want to share to the public.
Which gives me mine.
Oh, what?
Your lack of objectivity when it comes to your close ones.
Are you insulting Brett and Lauren in that case too? Because they're the other...
Yeah, no, I'm not insulting them. I'm just saying that you lack objectivity when it comes to those people.
So I lack objectivity when it comes to you, Lauren, and Brett.
Potentially more people.
No, I'm more objective.
And being a completely rational being, which it doesn't even understand emotions, this does not compute with me.
I mean, okay, I guess there's my answer then. No, it's not. The fact, I will say though, that's a runner-up because I've had to explain my emotional process to you so many times for you to be like, I just don't.
I might have been exaggerating, but I was not completely untrue with my statement.
I mean, I'm exaggerating by you doing the oh my fucking god position because you have never done that. I do that. But no, the thing that I could say that I find irritating about you is the fact you have the memory that would make a goldfish look intelligent. I can have an example very fucking recently about that. So, He's burning.
I know. I'm pretty. I'm pretty hot.
I could have just made. Oh yeah, and your modesty. No. I could have been really mean, hit the below the belt and say you're imposter syndrome, but I'm not saying that, except I just did. But no, the thing is with his forgetfulness is that, oh God, the thing is with his, I could also say you interrupting me with random shenanigans on this podcast. That's a legitimate thing.
I haven't even said anything.
Shenanigans do not have to be vocal. But no, here's, the thing about his forgetfulness is that I was talking to him on Discord, on like Monday or Tuesday. And I was like, just talking about life and stuff. And I was like, man, I just need a distraction. Do you think that we could play Battle Block Theater for Git this week? That would really cheer me up. And he's like, yeah, that's something to look forward to. And I was like, great. And then Wednesday comes along and I was like, hey, so what time does Git start because of the whole time savings thing? And he was like, wait, are we supposed to be playing something today?
In my defense, this was more... We talked about it on Discord on Saturday, and then you got really, really sick. So I wasn't
was
sure
already
if...
sick, though.
Yes, and I wasn't sure if you are still on for it.
I was already sick when I talked to you about it, so I was so I thought you would assume that I would play it even then. But the thing is that I showed in writing that we did this, and you also forgot another thing in writing too. So it was just like, and you were like, yeah, in writing does not. I guess I don't remember things in writing anymore. And it's just like, this is not the first time this has happened that you've just. I have made the statement that I am just your external hard drive when it comes to remembering things for you. And that statement gets more and more true every passing day.
What can
so
I
that's
say?
Mine. You have a look face.
Yeah, I'm an old man. My life, I have collected so many memories that some of them drop off the plate again.
What the hell has this question done?
I don't
know, right? It killed the chat.
See, the thing is,
I feel like I'm the kid at the back seat in the car. You know?
Oh, is mommy and daddy okay? Are we going to our aunt's house for a bit? But Talia, what do you not like about me?
Do I really have to answer that question?
You could be funny.
Well, there is one thing that, I don't understand, but I wouldn't say that I don't like it. I don't understand why you don't want to put your awesome hair on your OC.
Oh, okay. See, there we go. That's actually something. I don't know. I'm just afraid of giving Key no poofs. I mean, poofs were like the poofs and the curly hair have been such a staple. But the thing is, I will say this: when you drew that, I sent it to Max, being like, I have a temptation. I kind of want to. And
that's why I did it.
I know. Maybe someday. But I need to ease people into it. I got to ease people into this. God, next week someone asked a question of something we like about each other. This made me feel sad. But not really. But no, the thing is, I feel like that would be a harder question for Max because then he has to say something nice. I think his mouth would start melting.
To say, if I don't like something about him, like I just know good things about him.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, his OC is a bitch to draw. He's so boring to I'm just impersonating Talia. Man, gosh, his OC is so boring to draw. I mean, he's just a brown horse with blue hair. Not like I've ever seen that before. She's never actually said that.
No, I wouldn't complain about that. I mean, there is one thing though. Why does the cutie mark have a human hand? I remember like the first time that I got a commission and he's like, oh, so here's my cutie mark, and I'm like, okay, and I knew him from YouTube, right? But I didn't actually pay attention to it. And then I look at the cutie mark and it's like a hand. And I'm like, okay, just for shit and giggles, like how in universe, you being a pony, do you walk around and when people ask you, so what exactly is your cutie mark? Like, that is a conversation starter right there.
That is.
But yeah, so next question. There we go. We made the question funny again. Let's see. God, do I just merge the two questions together because they're kind of the same?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So RN Trigger and 4 Stars in Just Dance ask, what have you been doing to kill time and burn energy these days during isolation? And RN Trigger's thing is also, what is the weirdest thing you've done to keep yourself entertained? So
as I mentioned before, one last thing happened this week, which is probably more an answer to Trigger's question about the weirdest thing. because we did stuff like Just Dance and whatnot, but that's probably what many people do.
Normie video game stuff.
Exactly. No. Today I got to recut with an electric cutter the arrow, the shaved
the
side.
sides of her hair?
Yeah, the sides of her hair, and that was an adventure. To be like.
Oh, you gave her an undercut. That's fun to do. Oh God, but I wouldn't give to have clippers though. I'm starting to get to that stage of hair, and people who have undercuts know this feeling when the hair just starts to get to the edge where it can touch your ears again, and you're just kind of like, I hate it. I hate it. Someone please shave my head. Not all of it, but please shave my head. But yeah, so that's something.
Yeah, I didn't expect to actually sit down and give people haircuts ever.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I actually was watching a lot of my YouTube subscriptions today, or for the past week, have actually been some people cutting their hair and stuff because of it. I think like Jenna Marble's boyfriend Julian actually had Jenna cut his hair and do it because he was just like, I need to, because they can't go outside. But Towels.
People doing weird shit to their hair on TikTok. I'm sorry, you were still.
No, I was giving you the table. That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I've just been drawing. I still get commissions. I opened up coffee, sketches. I've been streaming those for like 3 days, and then I stopped for a little bit. But I've done that. I've gotten commissions still, so I've been, just doing those. I'm actually doing another YouTube video. It's a Beastars PNB, so yay! It should be ready in like tomorrow maybe, or maybe the day after tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's very short. The weirdest thing I've done is that I have I took my ukulele and I opened up my window and I sang to my neighbors.
Oh.
That's probably weird.
That's nice.
I don't know what else. I mean, like, there is the lingering feeling of, just like completely going insane, cooped up inside and wanting to just, take, like you said, a pair of clippers and just go snip, 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 snip. But it's a self-destructive thought, in my case. So I just, try to ignore that.
Yeah,
basically just the anxiety.
Yeah, I have the realization recently of, I won't be able to. I have hair dye. I don't have bleach, so it's going to be interesting to re-dye my hair because the hair's not going to, unless I just let this thing look like shit for like 3 weeks until all the dye has come out. But luckily, I think it's because I've gone out so little. My hair has been staying pretty good colors even and fading, but it's going to be interesting to do a dyeing adventure depending on how long this quarantine's lasting. But so I'm going to I'm going to take the thing is you're screen sharing, so I don't know how well taking screenshots are going to be, but I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of how many Google Doc tabs are open on my browser right now. Because one of the things I've been doing since being in quarantine is writing a shit ton of scripts and stories. Like, yeah, you got to download it. Oopsies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, to pass the time, because I had like a week or so where I couldn't get out of bed. So that was something. But I have a Chromebook thanks to my cousin, so I was able to do something at my bed, which was write scripts. So I have I have so many scripts open.
Wow.
Those are all basically completed. The only one that's not completed is the middle, where I'm talking about the Growing Pains episode of Steven Universe Future. Also, stop spoiling things on Twitter.
I saw it too, and I was like, for crying out loud.
I can't watch these things till Monday. Stop it.
Ooh, what do we have there?
Nice.
Here's mine. I'm more old school.
Yeah, but no. Actually, one of those scripts is not a script for a video essay.
It doesn't stop.
It just keeps coming, and it just keeps coming.
It keeps coming. It's like this thick.
Oh God! But one of the scripts is actually not for a video essay. It's actually not for any thing for YouTube. It's a script for a stage play, like a musical.
Oh, that's great.
And the thing is, I actually know people who could help make that happen. So whenever the world's done being on fire, I can make an introduction into Theta. And it's something that's very, very obvious, being a person who knows me.
Scooby-Doo the musical?
No, first of all, that's actually happening, and it's not involving me, and I'm very sad. Secondly, no, it's about death, so that's how it's like me. It's called Eulogy, and the whole play is basically people giving it's like a funeral celebration of life, and each song and sequence is this family giving eulogies about this person. So you don't actually know who the person who's dead is. He's kind of like a ghost, but all you know about his character is from the eulogies people give. And each song has a dominant instrument. And the only time you hear all the instruments together is the ending number and all that. And I based it a lot off my dad's funeral in the funniest way possible, because all the stories about my dad were hilarious, including the story my uncle gave. This one actually just makes it verbatim into the musical. My Uncle Dave. My dad owed my Uncle Dave money. So one day, like one of the first few months we lived in Indiana, he drove my dad out to a cornfield with a bat and pretended to act like he was going to break my dad's legs. Just like, no, he was just like, Steve, you got to give me that money. And my dad is a fucking Guinea Italian man, you know, full on Italian, has met mafia members. He was legit scared. It was like, I think that was the closest I've ever seen to your dad being terrified. But like, it's a comedy. At the end of the day, the musical is a comedy. I think I think the tagline is the funniest funeral you'll ever see. But I basically sat down one night and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, I really wish I could tell this story, but just telling the story is like telling stories about my dad, so whatever. And then I just sat down and wrote a whole ass play, and it's in its like second draft now. So, and I talked to Lauren, and she knows people who does live music who actually would be interested in writing the music for it, because I wrote some lyrics, but I'm not the only instrument I know how to play is a clarinet, and I don't have one. But that also goes into the weirdest thing I've done. I've been relearning clarinet. I don't have one, but I've been relearning the staffs and notes because I've been watching someone on Twitch called the 8-Bit Drummer, his whole thing on Twitch is drumming along to random things that people send him. So like YouTube videos, mostly shit posts, or like those weird SoundCloud mashups, and he'll just drum to them. So I was like, I have been looking up buying a clarinet again and just doing streams where I play clarinet music on the fly to songs that people do, because I played clarinet for like 13, 14 years. I am an award-winning clarinetist, and I've done shit with it. I need to make up for that time.
Oh my god, you really are Felicia Day.
Wait, did you play clarinet?
Not that, but she also has actually had a scholarship for her instrument.
Oh yeah, violin.
Yeah, but nowadays she doesn't do shit with a violin.
Exactly, but I'm just kind of like, I see people drumming to memes and playing guitar to memes and stuff, and I'm like, what about a clarinet? What about the woodwinds? All you people with drums and guitars and pianos, where's my reeds? And I need to do it before someone decides to do trumpet, because then no one's going to pay attention to the clarinetist, because trumpets take up so much attention. All trumpet people are attention whores.
Don't let my musician listen to you. Oh my God.
I know Reborn, and I love Reborn, but it's true. All people I have met who play the trumpet love attention.
What? I'm before I feel too called out, how about the next question?
That was all the questions.
Fuck, Mary Kill.
I mean, okay, I thought you were talking about the question. Okay. Anyway, Ask Awkward. Anime is a thing, and it has dragons in it, and whether they have double schlongs is irrelevant to this. But what is relevant is ding-dongs and treats, and how these sweets can be crafted into such lootful depictions. So, fuck, marry, kill, phallic-shaped objects in anime. We are going very specific here. A stuffed sweet eclair with any flavor of filling, a banana dipped in chocolate or white milk, or a steamy hot dog / sausage. Fluffy buns optional. So yeah, we're fucking food today, everyone.
Phallic symbols.
It just
Is
makes
there
me think.
any option that doesn't give you an infection?
No.
You can
I mean,
tell a
I
guy
guess
asks a question.
if you have a potassium deficiency, doing the banana would be the best thing for you. All it makes me think of is a one scene from a movie.
With the honey?
No, with the banana, where this woman is like, looks like she's starting to fillet a banana and looking over at a guy, and the guy is like, oh yeah, and then she bites down on the banana, but like very violently. But no, I guess, Max, why don't you answer first? All these things would be great for you.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. So we have, it's fuck, marry, kill, phallic-shaped objects from anime. So
A stuffed eclair, a banana dipped in chocolate, or white milk, or a steamy hot sausage.
Okay. I guess I would fuck the eclair. Because
It's the only thing with a hole.
it's the only thing that I, as a dude, can probably work out in my favor. I mean, I guess when it comes to the hot dog, I could replace the sausage in the bun, but that's that's not really the hot dog, so it's cheating. And the banana, that would pretty much be a mess. So let's go with the eclair, which would also be a mess now that I think about it. But at least it would be a mess, which
You won't tell. You couldn't tell.
you
what's
can
jizz and
picture
what's
it.
cream.
You can
You can't-
picture it.
You can't tell what's gonna be jizz and what's gonna be cream in that scenario,
So
man.
okay, so what do I do with the other two?
Marrying and killing.
I mean, I don't feel too bad about the killing because we are talking about inanimate objects. So
They're
the
already
question
dead.
exactly. So the question is, who would I want to marry? Now here will be an interesting one. For my reasoning for the murder. So I guess I will marry the banana now and not the meat. What might be like, oh, but don't you like the meat, Max? No, just I don't
Sorry,
know.
I'm 12 years old. I am sorry. I'm 12 years old. Just. I am allowed my immaturity. Oh God!
We lost Harley.
You killed the Latino. Okay.
I did. With my love for meat, I killed our guest. Anyways, no, just.
Yeah, but
But
continue.
what's the name of the NASA guy, the inventor?
The what guy?
The NASA guy on YouTube.
Okay, that's a bad description.
The NASA guy.
NASA?
NASA, as in space, as in flying up.
NASA. NASA.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Damn German. Okay.
Mark Rober. So, Mark Rober, and just today, I believe, I found this video of Mark Rober, which is actually a year old or so, about feeding Bill Gates fake burgers, and he talked about those burgers that actually come out of labs that are completely plant-based, but imitate the taste, the smell, the behavior on a fucking grill.
Like an Impossible Burger.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. This was one of the two brands he was talking about. And yeah, listening to him and Bill talking about it was meat does to the planet. I would kill the sausage.
Wait, what, did she write help?
Yes.
Okay. Oh
I
no.
I would kill the sausage and marry the banana. Also, it comes with milk, which is nice. So I already have dairy products in the house, so that's a nice thing. Yeah, somebody else answer, please.
Talia, your turn. It looks like this question's perfect for you.
Oh God, do I really have to
Yes.
answer it?
Yes, get up from the floor. I know your dog is on the floor, but you have to be up on the table with the adults.
I don't want to fuck food.
I know you don't want to fuck food, but we're in a crisis situation.
Think
God.
of them as characters like sausage san, eclair san, no samas.
I can't
They need to be samas, right?
think
sausage.
Why
sausage
the hell are
party.
they Japanese? That makes it worse.
Okay, well there you go. I mean, there were two out of the three things we talked about today in media were anime, and one was a ripoff of a Sentai from Japan. So
Okay.
please, we're in weeaboo territory today, and that includes weeaboo.
Okay. Okay. So like, God. Okay. Just
There is no God here.
for Key and Max, I will answer this. Okay. Because like I like this question, but I'm going to do an effort.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I think I'm just gonna kill the hot dog because, like, okay, you're already in a bun, so you're basically already cheating. So,
True.
Besides, you being lukewarm like 90% of the time, no, thank you. And if I wanted, to, be with something that smelled like pig, I would just, go outside and sit in the sun for 9 hours. I would,
Rejecting a lot of
marry the banana. The banana is a hardy fruit. It provides with potassium. It's a provider. It has layers.
Two.
It's a healthy relationship. It's a healthy fruit. It's a healthy relationship. And, I guess, fuck the eclair because it's already cream filled. Is that good enough of an answer? Is that what you wanted me to do?
It was. I thought it was.
Like, whoever freaking asked this question, I mean, like, if that's what you wanted, you got it. Okay, but please, Jesus Christ.
It's my turn now.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Will you give a third time the exact same answer, or will you mix it up?
No, I actually had a thought that was completely contrary to what you guys were doing. So, I am an Italian woman. I know, hard to believe given that I am paler than a jar of mayonnaise, but I am actually very Italian under this skin. And us Italians, we like the good spicy sausage. So I'm gonna fuck the sausage.
It's a hot dog, not a sausage.
It said sausage or hot dog, and buns were optional.
Okay,
So,
chorizo al fin.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna have that sausage, because at least if it's cooked correctly, it'll feel like something. I'm imagining that I'm in a quarantine situation. These are the only things in my house, and I'm the only one in my house, and I am just very desperate at this moment, and I don't think there's an end to the horror. So we're in a land, but then I'm gonna kill the eclair. One out of mercy, given your two's descriptions of what you did to him. But also, it's just empty calories, man. I may be in a quarantine, but I don't want to be fat in a quarantine. So killing that temptation off. And I'm going to marry the banana because, well, it kind of looks like gold. So... I'm sorry, I can't go for a gold digging answer with fruit.
It's hard.
I'm going to. You should hear some of my answers. You should hear some of his answers. I'm surprised he didn't find a way to format that the vegetable provided something around the house.
Well, it provided dairy products.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I think I'll marry the banana because, well, like everyone said, it's very healthy. It's a hearty fruit. And it has a little bit of chocolate or milk on it, so it has a little bit of sweetness. And that's what you want in a life partner. You don't want someone who's too sweet. You just want someone who's sweet enough. Yeah, I don't know what that says of my taste in people, but just sweet enough.
I like people at the right amount in the right moment.
So,
yeah, which is the healthier thing that you can do.
But I guess it is now official. Like, it was a unanimous answer. Bananas are the best phallic-shaped object for marriage.
They are the traditional, phallic-shaped innuendo. And they are the best marital companions.
But yeah, not for fucking, but for marriage. That is the part.
Exactly.
Yeah,
With
no,
love.
Came in for the fuck. You came out with end the show, please.
Why? Are you
This is
feeling?
awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. Artwork and analysis, which you do not